Welcome back to Retro Wrestling Reviews here on YouTube. We're playing WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2006, back in General Manager mode, continuing on the road to Armageddon. We're still these international shows. We were in Italy, we were in France, now we're in Japan. Um, Real international flavour to Smackdown in December of this fictional 2006. We're in a decent spot. I'm just going to have a quick look at my rivalries. Undertaker and Edge seem like they're going to go the distance to the pay-per-view, which is great. I've just started some new rivalries for the people that soured. Very disappointed to see Regal and Carlito have turned on each other, but that's fine. I can work around that. They're my tag team champions. Um, we've got some new rivalries. We've got some that are simmering. Seems like they're going to make it the 2 weeks. So yeah, let's carry on. First things first is our main event, our two big feuds. I'm terrified that they're going to sour. I'd be so disappointed if this close to the pay-per-view I lost my two big singles feuds. But all I can do is put my faith in my booking. Edge and Christian teaming up against Undertaker and John Cena. So we're locked in. Next up, let's see what other rivalries are kind of top of the pile. So Kurt Angle and Booker T have been going at it for a while, and Eddie Guerrero's the new United States champion, and he's now feuding with Kane. So that maybe seems like an obvious fatal four-way to give them a title shot. Um, where's Booker T? Sorry, I had a little bit of brain freeze for a second there. Um, Kurt Angle and Kane, and that's for the United States Championship. Then we've got some cruiserweight feuds. We've got, let's see, Mysterio and the new cruiserweight champion Daivari, and I've just paired up Ric Flair and Rob Van Dam as well. The odd one out is kind of Big Show. Like Paul London is a cruiserweight and he's not doing anything, and Big Show's like a main eventer and he's not doing anything. So I guess I'm left with this weird kind of mismatch of like cruiserweight and heavyweight. But I don't mind mixing these things up. That's it's very WCW actually to try and elevate people by just mixing them with main eventers. It's worked for me a couple of times in the past. Rob Van Dam and Ric Flair. So we're going to have this four-way for the cruiserweight title as well, and then I should have enough guys to fill out the rest of the card with singles matches. I believe. Um, so you know what? Muhammad Hassan won that battle royal last week, so let's give him the feud with the Big Show. And then we've got Chavo versus Grenier, and we've got Carlito and Regal. I'm kind of sitting on the sidelines because their feud's soured, so I'm going to give them the week off, and then we'll bring them back next week and find something for them to do. So Rob Conway versus Paul London. Four kind of low popularity guys who weren't doing much. Hassan's got decent popularity at 64, and then we've got the Fatal Four Way and another Fatal Four Way, and a very championship heavy edition of SmackDown. But that's my jam. I've done that lots of times now. You guys should be used to that. Okay, simulate. Rob Conway beats Paul London. Chavo beats Grenier. Big Show beats Muhammad Hassan. Rob Van Dam's the new cruiserweight champion, which I'm happy about. Eddie Guerrero retains the United States title. Very happy with that. Who doesn't love Eddie Guerrero, right? And Edge and Christian win the main event, which is good because I feel like Edge has been on a bit of a losing streak in his feud with the Undertaker, so that was necessary, I think. Raw beats me again by the same 120 they beat me last week. I just I this has been this has been the thing for a long time. This not just in this playthrough, but I always seem to have this issue where I always get beat on the weekly shows, but then I get this huge spike at the pay-per-views. Like I guess I lay good foundations, but for the pay-per-views, but just the week to week, I just maybe it is this fear of fatigue and not wanting anyone to get injured. Maybe that is hurting me. Never doing gimmick matches or not doing many gimmick matches on a weekly show. So we've now got all these rivalries, and they're all thumbs up, which is exactly what I wanted to see. We've got these new rivalries, so I think that makes a nice, easy opener. So this is the go home show for Armageddon. Um, Go home show for Armageddon. So we're going to open up with a six-man tag, and it's going to be Paul London and so hang on. So yeah, Big Show and La Resistance. Where are they? Where's Conway? Versus Paul London, who's now feuding with Conway, and Chavo, who's now feuding with Grenier, and Muhammad Hassan, who's now feuding with Big Show. That's right. That is who it was, wasn't it? Suddenly second guessing myself. Yeah, Chavo and Paul London. Fantastic. So that's the opener is kind of easily laid up. You know how we roll now on the Go Home show. A couple of pay-per-view hypes. I'm then going to do a singles match between Carlito and William Regal. Just that will start like a feud between the two, which it's really not going to go anywhere. But because they're the tag team champions, I'd kind of like them paired up so that I can do something with them at the pay-per-view. After the pay-per-view, as we head into the Royal Rumble season, I'm probably going to do like a kind of full reset. I think all my top feuds will have soured. If they've not soured by the pay-per-view, they're definitely not going to last all the way until the Royal Rumble. So I'll probably pay them all off at Armageddon and then move on and just completely clean slate, 10 fresh feuds after the pay-per-view. That's the plan anyway, and we'll see how things look after the pay-per-view. Main event, I'm going to do Undertaker versus Edge in just a singles match. No title on the line, just as like a warm-up for the pay-per-view. Same with John Cena and Christian. Those are my two big feuds, my big money feuds. Booker T and Kurt Angle is another one. They've been locked heads for a couple of months now. So if I'm remembering correctly, those three feuds should all be nine fantastic. So that's going to be the top half of my card at the pay-per-view basically. And then we've got Kane and Eddie to worry about as well. That's my US title feud. My US title feud. And that should be everyone. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm missing 2. I think it might be the cruiserweights that I'm missing. So I guess I need to pad some of these out as a tag match. Which that's fine. I can do that. Maybe I'll do another 6-man tag actually. Yeah, that's a fun idea. Let's do a second 6-man tag. So Kurt Angle and Booker T are going to captain their respective teams. I'm looking for him. I bet he's already there. He is. So Kurt Angle and Booker T are going to captain their respective teams. And Kurt is going to team up with Ric Flair and Daivari. And Booker T is going to team up with RVD. Where is he? And there's Rey Mysterio. So, I mean, the inclusion of Daivari is a bit weird, but that's a pretty solid 6-man tag, I think. So let's quickly count through. So those 3 are already in feuds. That's a new feud. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's my entire roster used on this single episode of SmackDown. And at the conclusion of this show, for better or worse, by hook or by crook, I will have 10 feuds. Hopefully none of the important ones will have soured. Simulate. Big Show and La Resistance pull out the win. William Regal beats Carlito. Eddie again retains that US title. He's got a death grip on that thing. No pun intended. That's a mean joke. I love Eddie. Booker T, RVD, and Rey Mysterio pick up the win. John Cena beats Christian, and The Undertaker beats Edge heading into the pay-per-view. Edge does not have any momentum. Can he win the world title? We're at the Go Home show. I got a little lift. Maybe the game heard me complaining that I never win the weekly shows and just took pity on me. But yeah, happy. And then I've got this nightmare of contracts expiring, but I'll deal with that next time.